Welcome to Additional Content, where we review compendium pieces to some of our favorite and not so favorite games. Final Fantasy VI is, in my opinion, easily one of the top 3 greatest Final Fantasies that's ever been released. It did, however, have some pretty odd dungeons. For example, one you got swallowed up by the Zone Eater in order to find the Mimic Go-Go, and then in another you had to feed Coral to the treasure chest on Ebot's Rock. But according to the Ultimania archive, the dungeons could have been a whole lot weirder. Here are 15 gimmicks that never made the final cut. Number 1. The Tile Puzzle Dungeon. Here, monsters wandered around visibly on the map, with tiles that turned gray when you walk on them. The next floor wouldn't open up until all the tiles were gray or all the monsters had been killed. Number 2. The Mimic Dungeon. Here, there are 3 types of visible monsters in the dungeons. Ones that move all in the same direction as you, ones that move in the opposite direction, and ones that don't move at all. Number 3. Deep Distant Place Dungeon. A dungeon that had a specialty store to purchase goods like a shovel to dig into the next floor deeper, but occasionally worms would pop out and you'd do battle. Number 4. The Stalker Statue Dungeon. A dungeon with a statue that chases you around and you must lead it to a dead end without falling into a pit or having the statue leave your line of sight, as you would have to start over. Number 5. Shifting Tile Dungeon. Each space has a pattern tile on it, and when the player character steps on each one, it would move in a direction until it hits other tiles or walls. I think my favorite quote here is, "In making all the tiles the same pattern to confuse people could be fun." I think I can agree to disagree with this one. Number 6. The Motion Sickness Dungeon. Rotation panels. Stepping on a panel will make the floor above rotate 90 degrees. There's only a single pattern that would let you proceed. Number 7. Falling with Style Dungeon. The player will fall, bounce around, and land. Where they land depends on where they fall from. Here in this drawing, you can see they expected the character to bounce off several rocks in hopes to find their way out. Number 8. The Digging Dungeon. The soil is soft and you can dig here, but if you dig too much, you will trigger a cave-in. Dig to find treasure, and it is possible to walk away empty-handed. Number 9. The Invisible Dungeon, where everything is transparent except for the floor. Number 10. The Stealth Dungeon. Monsters patrol the area and will sound the alarm when they spot you, causing a battle with incredibly strong monsters. Number 11. The Earthquake Dungeon. Walking in a wide area can cause an earthquake, changing the position of both the chests and the exit. Number 12. The Barricade Dungeon. You set rocks on the field to slow monsters down. I think we saw a version of this in Final Fantasy VII's Condor Fort minigame. Number 13. The Trivia One-Shot Dungeon. A statue asks you a question, and if answered correctly, you move ahead, meeting another and answering another question. When a question is answered incorrectly, you are teleported to a room with a chest with an item based on how many questions you answered correctly. You can only do this dungeon once. Number 14. The Black and White Dungeon. The tiles are black and white and trade places every so often, disorienting the player. There are invisible walls that you can't see and monsters walking around looking for trouble. Number 15. 2D Minecart Adventure. When escaping the Magitech factory, the minecart ride would be a 2D section in which the player would need to press up and down repeatedly to speed up and slow down the cart. As you progress, you would run into empty carts that would slow you down while enemies chase you. And there you have it. 15 scrapped gimmick ideas for dungeons in Final Fantasy VI. Which, if any, would you have liked to have seen in the final version? Any that you were really happy were left out? I, for one, don't think I would have enjoyed the Stealth Dungeon or the Rotating Panels Dungeon. That is a Zelda Ocarina of Time Water Temple vibe that I could really do without. But let me know your thoughts below, and if you'd like to see more content like this. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day.